All right, well, family, welcome again to another broadcast. Very glad that you guys can join us this wonderful day. We'll be starting here momentarily. All right. Just going to give people time to get on. Hope you guys had a wonderful week. And yeah, we'll be starting here momentarily. All right, just giving people time to get on here. Just about another minute or so, and then we're going to go ahead and get started here. So glad that you guys can join us. Like I said, I hope you had a wonderful week. The week here was pretty nice. It's quite busy. I'll talk a little bit about it, but nonetheless, it's been a lot. I went from, I had to get up. I said, okay, let me cut the grass. I got to do that. Okay, now I need to run here. Okay, now I need to do that. It's been, and then handling other business as well. So, yeah, it's been quite an adventure, to say the least, this week. But I'm so glad that you guys can join us. We ain't going to be here too long. And for those who are not familiar, this is, every Friday I've been doing these community updates, kind of letting you know what we've been up to, what we're doing, and what's coming up and all of that. So we're going to be do just that, and we're going to touch on a few news items as well, okay? So we'll be starting here in probably about, I'm going to give it like another 30 seconds, and then we're going to start, okay? And if you haven't done so already, make sure that you go to the website, linktree.com/journeyman and woman. I can't tell you how many times I get people saying, how do I reach you? How do I contact you? Or can I find this? Where can I find this video? Or whatever. And, you know, I had to keep repeating it. And, but I'm going to put it up on the screen here. Let's see. All right, let me get it up here. All right, so there you go. So it's journeymanandwoman.com. Journeymanandwoman.com. One more time, journeymanandwoman.com. If you haven't done so already, please bookmark the page, because this is where you'll find the links to many of our videos that we've done. You know, we just don't put videos here on this platform, but we also put videos on other platforms, you know, when we can as well, because we're not putting all of our eggs in one basket. And so if you're looking for a particular series, you know, that we've done, you know, we talk about the series that we've done in the past, over and 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 over again. And like I said, it never fails. Hey, where is that series? So this is the page. I put the link in the chat, and along with Wanee, I see she put it in the chat too. Thank you so much for that, sis. And so, you know, everything from, this was like a 2-part series. It was one called The Real Moses, where we actually dove into historically. We're not just looking at the Bible. The Bible is a source, but as the Bible says, out of the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let every word be established, right? So there are other witnesses, historical witnesses that are out there that can either underscore or put a line through things that were originally said about this person called Moses. And so we did a short series on that. Well, actually, it was just one video. I thought it was a part 1, part 2, but it was actually one video. So you get the audio version and the video as well. And of course, you've heard us talk about the Who and the L series. So this is the whole series right here. Circumcision. I cannot stress that enough. If you have not seen that one, especially, that is something that you definitely need to check out, the circumcision series. And not just for those who are expecting children, or maybe you found out that you're having a boy, but those who have already been, you good and born, you good and born, you got your own family and everything else, but you still need to watch this. It's utmost importance. You definitely need to watch this because we're looking at it from many perspectives. There are a lot of people who have, just came to the conclusion that circumcision is mentioned in the Bible. If it was good enough for them, it's also good enough for us. But when you actually look at it from a historical perspective, looking at where circumcision actually came from, who are the people that were really practicing this thing? What is the medical impact? What is the bio impact that it has on the human body when one is circumcised? And then also, what is the impact on the spouse as well? Because the spouse is also impacted by circumcision. And so we go through just this whole thing here, and we look at it step by step by step, and we had to break it up in pieces, in bite-sized pieces, so that you can follow along. You can look at the slides yourself. The references that we use are all there so that you can look them up on your own. Because what we're not going to be is a platform where we tell people what to do, because you're too grown for that. At least most of you are. But we're not in the business of doing that. What we are focused on is pretty much looking at the facts and following the truth where it leads. And when you look at circumcision and the impact that it has on the body, this is something, by the end of it, if you're honest, if you're truly honest, you're going to realize that this is something that you need to stay far away from. And it's something that you don't want to you don't want to mess with this at all. Not at all, because the impact that it has from a physiological standpoint to a psychological standpoint and ultimately a spiritual standpoint, it's something that you do not want to, if you've already have been circumcised like I have, it is not the end of the road for you. It's not. Okay. There are things that you can do, that because your body is always, one thing about the human body is that it's always trying to heal itself. That is the secret that the medical industry doesn't want you to know. The medical industry wants you to believe that your body it's broken and it needs them in order to be well again. Now, we're not going to sit up here and say the medical industry hasn't helped anybody, because it has. But it doesn't erase the fact that, that mankind for thousands and thousands of years has lived whole and well lives before the Rockefellers came into the picture. Okay, we didn't need the Rockefellers thousands of years ago. People were living a good, healthy life before the medical industry. And I'm going to tell you, this is one of the hardest things to get people today to understand and to believe that, because many of our people are just so convinced that if they're suffering from something like high blood pressure or diabetes or, something like that, then the only answer is going to come from someone in a white coat. And what we believe here is that is not the case at all, because there's too much history that we have just amongst our own people that says that's a 100% lie. That's why for me today, I don't, there was a time where, I would see our people, graduating from medical school and look at all these black doctors and, oh man, look at all these black doctors, man. This is awesome, man. I'm telling you, see, the media don't talk about, we always go there, right? But now I don't even get excited about it. I don't, because if all of these people, all these young people who are graduating from medical school are simply repeating what this system is telling them to say, then that's not a win for us. It is not a win for us. Just because you have black folks that graduate from medical school, that is not an automatic win for black folks as a collective, because more often than not, they are simply repeating what the system tells them to say. And if you come into the picture and say, hey, listen, I've been reading, I've been learning about this, and, it seems like I don't need all these pharmaceuticals and stuff, they'll get mad at you. Why? Because it takes money out of their pocket. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not really anything to get excited about. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news on that, but you get an A for effort, for consistency and diligence. Yeah, you get an A for those things. But are you going to be an individual that is going to take that knowledge and build on top of it the knowledge and the wisdom and experience that your ancestors have collected for age immemorial, and use that for the benefit of our people? And that's what we're all about, is turning to what our Creator has put out in nature already to bring healing and restoration to our people. Again, one more time, we're not saying that the whole medical industry is just a bunch of crap and trash. No, not at all. Because there's many examples, and I'm sure many of you have witnessed it in your own life, where you have been helped. But what we're here to tell you is that ultimately they are not a necessity for life. Ultimately, you understand what I'm saying? And because our Creator has put everything that we need for life right outside our window. And your body is a reflection of that. Your body is always, doing the best it can to heal itself. And so that's why diet is very important. Exercise is important. Exposure to sunlight, exposure to clean water. All of those things are very, very extremely important. And it's something that we cannot take for granted. It's something that we have to take very seriously. So anyway, how that all ties into circumcision. Yeah, so the series that we did on circumcision, if you have not watched that, I don't know why this keeps coming up. If you have not watched that series, you definitely need to watch it. And, at the end of the day, it's information. You take that information and you do with it as you will. But our job here is to present to you the information from as non-biased as we possibly can be. And then you can take that and, hopefully you can make better decisions, going forward. So anyway, so that's a series that we did. We did one on light, frequency, and electricity. That was a very interesting one. That's where we were able to get into some science and, looking at how all of creation really breaks down to this: light, frequency, and electricity. And so we kind of explored that quite a bit. That was a good one. Re-examining what we've been told. I can't remember what was in that one, but that was a good one too. A closer look at the Torah. We have been told that the Torah is something that, for the most part, Moses came and he presented us this law called the Torah. And this Torah has, from what we understand, has 613 laws in it. And don't let anybody fool you. There ain't now one person out here that's obeying all of them. So don't let people tell you, rub you all in your face, you got to do all the law, statutes, and commandments, because I can tell you right now, they are not doing it. So anybody that even comes my way, if you even pull up in my driveway with that foolishness, I'm going to automatically sick the dogs on you. Okay? I'm going to sick all the dogs on you, and the neighbor's dogs too. Okay, because there ain't no way you are not doing. Nobody out here is doing 613, and don't tell me that you're doing the best you can and that's all he cares about. No, you either do all of them or you don't do them at all, plain and simple. And so we look at where the history of the Torah, where it actually came from. What was the name of the rabbi that actually came up with the 613? Where did it originate from? What inspired the Torah? What were the ancient sources or the ancient sources that inspired the Torah in the first place? Well, we look at all of that. And again, these are all historical, accurate sources that we're using. And just like we say with anything else, you look at that information and then you make your own decision at the end of the day. You know, if that's something that you want, you know, I'm not going to let go of it. I'm going to hold on to it. Then you hold on to it, you know, but we're not going to be dumb. 400 plus years, these people have lied to us about a great number of things. And we got to take our time to unravel a lot of this stuff. Some of this stuff is literally right up in your face. They rub it right in your face and they tell you straight up. But some people are just so tied into what they want to believe, and they're not going to do anything to change that at all. But, you know, again, it can be quite jarring, and I understand that, the information that we're bringing out here. And especially when you are an individual that have invested a good part of your life into this stuff. And so we do take that even seriously, even for us as individuals here on this side. It's not easy. You know, you go through the anger, want to backslap somebody and, or backhand somebody, I meant to say, and all of that just for, man, you mean to tell me what? But it is what it is, and we got to be truthful, Okay, so also you'll find the links to our podcast. We're on SoundCloud. If here's the button here for that. But if you just happen to be on SoundCloud, just do a search for us as Journeyman and Woman Radio. We're also on One Nation Israel Radio. We've been on there since day one for the most part. And Brother Craig, I'm still amazed. He still keeps me on there based on the stuff I be talking about. I don't know, but he keeps me on there. Speaking of which, the last I heard of him, he is recovering. From what it sounds like, he's on the mend right now. So thank y'all for those of you who are praying for him and reached out, to see how he was doing and all that. I know him and his wife really, really appreciate that. And if you go to WONIRadio.com, if you would like to contribute, this is an older couple, and medical bills aren't cheap these days. If you would like to contribute, send a little something, to help out with that, what they're going through right now. Again, go to WONIRadio.com and there's a donate button, I believe, at the top of the page. You can go there. Okay. All right. Then you also have our links to Samba Tree and then Chalk Stock. We'll talk about that in a moment. We're going to also talk about this weekend. Congo in the Americas map. We're going to get into that because we're going to talk about our history, similarities between Hebrew and Kikongo, when we did a study on that. Thank you for your support. Here are all the links there for those who would like to contribute to the work that we do on this end here. We have a PayPal and we have a Cash App. The buttons are right here. If you would like to contribute to BondTube, that is our video link page. That's our video streaming page, where you will find hundreds and hundreds of videos ranging from teachings, not just from us, but from many other people, documentaries, movies, news, medical research, you name it. You'll find it all on there, and things are being added on there literally every day. Big shout out to Wanea, and we're still working. I'm still trying to figure that out, sis, about the thumbnail. And we have and there's others as well that do contribute to that. And we Avery Black. And so we really appreciate them and others who are uploading things on there. And so, again, thank you. Really appreciate that and your efforts in putting stuff on there so that the people can be informed on what's going on out here. Because again, we can't just depend here on YouTube. We're not going to complain because they take a video down. They are going to do what they do. And so we need to do what we need to do. And so that's build our own platform, which we did. And thanks in part to great people like yourself. So again, thank you. We really appreciate it. Okay, so today, just some of the highlights of what we're going to be talking about. As you see, we're going to get into, that'll probably be the last segment, well, maybe somewhere in between. We're going to touch on this whole affirmative action thing. And does it really matter? Does it really matter? Did the earth change? Did the sky get dark when the Supreme Court justices, said, hey, listen, we're going to limit affirmative action? Did all of a sudden, did the KKK come to your house? Did they burn any crosses? Did Jim Crow come knocking on your door? Hey, I'm back. Did any of that happen? It didn't happen to me. I mean, maybe it happened to you, but it certainly didn't happen to me. And like I wrote on the community page, I said, it seems like based on what I'm seeing so far, the initial reactions, it seems like white people are the ones that are more terrified about this than black folks. And I'm like, gee, I wonder why. Does it have anything to do with maybe y'all the ones that benefit from it the most? Maybe that's what it is. We'll talk about that in a moment, okay? But first, real quick, couple of announcements. Tonight, we will not do our movie night tonight. I know, I'm sorry. But what I will do is that because we've been watching a series, okay? I'm not going to mention the series name, but we have been watching a series. And what I will do is, because I have part 1 and part 2 uploaded, I will upload all the other, well, not all of the other ones, but I'll upload the ones that I would have shown tonight. I'll upload that as well. Okay. So it'll take a little bit, but I'll get them up. All right. I'll get them up for you. But it just means I will have to be here to monitor and all that. And once I get off here, I'm still bouncing around. I'm doing some editing and stuff like that. And I'm telling you what I'm editing in a moment. So there won't be an actual streaming movie night tonight, okay? But I will upload all of the ones, including the ones that I would have shown this week. I will upload that over on BondTube so that you can be caught up, okay? So all of them will be uploaded. And when you go to the recently added section, let me see if I can pull that up here. Hold on for a second. My BondTube.com. Hold on. All right, I'm just waiting for it to load up here for a moment here. So I'll have them all uploaded. Give it about maybe a couple of hours, and all of them should be uploaded, and then you guys can catch up that way. And man, I saw the season finale. Oh my goodness, we need to do a debriefing just off of that, man. That was. It's really something. I may touch on it soon. Anyway, so here's mybondtube.com. Here's you'll find a whole bunch of videos on here. And this is the date added section here. So when I do upload it, you'll find it under this section, okay? And then you can kind of go with that. All right. So it will be on there. You'll be able to catch it over there. Okay. So just wanted to let you know about that it will be uploaded, and even including the ones that we were going to stream live this week. Okay. So that's it with that. So that's that. Tomorrow, yes, we will do a Samba gathering. That's where we do our teachings. That will be starting 12 noon Eastern Standard Time tomorrow on BondTube. That one's going to be a short one. I tell you, when I tell you I'm just in a whole nother zone right now, I mean, it's hard to even explain. The more you start discovering and really asking questions, I tell you, it's really something. I just, it's hard to explain, you know, and I could easily, just with the things that we have been, you know, like the Who and the L series, I could have been going hard on that every week because it was a lot of information, I know, but I could have been going just as strong or even stronger every week, even up until tomorrow. That's how much information. When I tell you it's a lot to unlearn, to learn, and to unlearn, it's a whole lot. But my concern is, you know, you don't want to overload people, you know, and that's why I think it was last week, I believe, I actually did a rebroadcast of one of the series or whatever. I did a rebroadcast just to give people time. I said, listen, you're going to need to make sure you get this, because a lot of people out here, they want someone to tell them what to believe. I do not want to tell you what to believe, because that doesn't work. You have people who are, that's part of what they do on a day-to-day basis, is that they tell you what to believe and tell you what not to believe. I don't want to do that, you know, because people are, you know, when you're dealing with adults, you basically present them with information, and then what they decide to do with that information, it should be left to them. That's what I always believe. I don't believe in you have to, if someone doesn't make a decision that you make, then you just got to go all hard on them and all that stuff. No. It would just, they'll remember what you said. Hopefully they will. And, you know, if they get off too much, and then they'll, you know, when they want truth, they'll look for truth. And if that's really what they want. But you also find a lot of people don't even want truth, quite honestly. There's a whole lot of people out there that don't want it, you know, so there's a whole lot. Yes. Like I said, we could have been going hard, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And even for that matter, even for myself, I'm still digesting a lot and taking time and processing a lot of this stuff. I really am. And it just takes a lot of time, you know, and it's just really something, you know, especially, you know, and what I'm talking about again is, you know, for those of you who are just tuning in, maybe you don't know exactly what I'm talking about or whatever. I'm really talking about the series that I was just talking about. But coming from a place where, you know, you grew up, pretty much the Bible was the final and that's it. You don't question it. It's 100% accurate. And if you dare question it, then the hell is going to open up and you're going to fall right in it and all that stuff. And what we've been doing is basically going in, okay, who wrote this book? Who exactly are the people who wrote this book? You know, and what was their lifestyle like? What were the things that they really believed? And then going to and verifying that from multiple sources to make sure that you're getting accurate information, right? So once you start doing that, you'll begin to start discovering a great deal, a lot more than what you thought you were looking for. And so it's become quite challenging. Quite challenging. No, I'm not one that now I don't even believe in God at all. No. I believe that we do have a creator. Absolutely. There are a lot of people who have gone through this. They call it deconstruction. And they are now consider themselves atheists, meaning that they don't even believe that there's a God at all, or there's not a creator at all. That's not me. I don't believe that at all. I do believe that we do, in fact, have a creator. I mean, all I can do is look outside and can see that, you know, but the things that we've been told about the creator, you know, there's a lot that has not been, as you're delving into this thing, you're finding out there's a lot of inaccuracies. And so as you're going through this, you begin to discover these things. And like I said, again, it can be very jarring. It really is. Some days you can kind of feel sick to the stomach. You know what I mean? As you're kind of going through this. So that's for me, you know, me personally. And so that's why I said, you know what? Some weeks I'm like, you know, not this week. We'll get to you next week. We'll talk more about this next week. We'll go into it a little bit deeper next week. And, you know, so that's kind of how I've been. But tomorrow we will talk. We're going to look at a particular scripture that's in the New Testament that refers to something that happened in the Old Testament. And we're going to look at it in its entirety. The way it's been preached to us, preachers have trained us to only focus on the verse and not the whole chapter. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to look at, that's what I'm saying, everything, we're going to look at it piecemeal. All right. So, yeah, so that will be tomorrow, and that's not going to be a long one at all. I really don't think that's going to be long at all. But that's starting noon tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time, over on mybondtube.com. Okay. So that's that. Let's see. We are coming up to July the 4th. I know you guys got your 4th of July. You got your American flags out, right? So make sure you get your American flags out. We're going to say, God bless America. We're going to land that I love. Stand beside her. How else it go? Stand beside her. I'm from the mountains to the prairie to the ocean. Something, something. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. No, we ain't gonna be singing that, y'all. I'm messing with you. No. So yeah, the American flags are out and waving already, y'all. I can already tell where I'm in a particular neighborhood. When I see a whole lot of American flags, I'm like, yeah, I know where I am. Let me get up out of here. But yes, because yeah, some of those same communities I drive through, when they have the more American flags, that means I need to get up out of there quick. Because what you doing what you doing on my street? God bless America, but you better get off my street before I call the cops. Okay, for real. But anyway, so what we did last year, it was for Juneteenth. And Juneteenth, what we did is it was like an 8-hour stream of videos that we had of just talking about our history. You know, but looking at our history, starting from our own households and going backwards. Okay, we're not projecting anything. We're not looking at other cultures and grabbing from other cultures and saying this is who we are and all this. No. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Okay. You know, and I'm saying that specifically for our Hebrew brothers and sisters as well. We're not projecting because, again, I put the challenge out over and over again. And I still ain't getting that one answer to it. Show me an ancestor that you have in your family that was saying Shalom Mishpachah. You know, show me a grandmother, a grandfather, or a great grandfather that was talking about, you know, how he had the keep the law. He was taught to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Show me an ancestor that in your family tree that was talking like that. You ain't gonna find one. You're not gonna find one. Okay, let's just cut to the chase on that. And so what we do is that we look at our own. We just start straight up. Start from your own household, and you just move on back. And what you will find as you're going through your own bloodline, you're going to find a kaleidoscope, if you will, of a beautiful culture, even though it's pieced together from, you know, the mixing and stuff that took place. But it's a very beautiful culture that's very meaningful. When our people came over by ships, slave ships, okay? When we came over by slave ships, slavery was a bad thing. It was a very wicked thing. We didn't come over here because we wanted to be farmers. And Africa just got too small for us. So we said we wanted to come over and take a cruise ship over here on the SS Jesus so that we can come over here and then do some farming work over here in the United States, or what would eventually be known as the United States. No, that ain't how it went. We were taken by force over to this land here, what they call the Americas, to work as slaves. And what the narrative is that's being taught is that slavery was such a bad institution that it literally blanked you out. It hollowed us out to the point where we forgot everything about who we are. Everything. All of our practices, our cultural traditions, all of the expressions and all of that stuff, it just disappeared. And then what happened is they hit a reboot button and all of a sudden we just kind of became something else. That's not what happened. When you came over, when our people came over, when our ancestors came over, they brought with them a great number of things. Their cultural practices and traditions, names, spiritualities. There's a whole wealth of things that was brought over that can be traced from slave ship to today in 2023. And if you want to know who you are, that's the path that you need to take. Don't be listening to these folks out here who are out here wanting to project other cultures on you and getting you more confused on who you are. And then you just, well, they told me this and now I understand I'm this person here. We're the Eskimos or we're this and that or what up. No, you ain't got to go there. You start writing your own house and you go backwards. It's just as simple as that. And that's what we did last year on the broadcast. Like I said, it was like an 8-hour-long broadcast that we did where we show all kinds of videos that underscored that and highlighted the beauty of our culture and everything else. So 4th of July, I believe that 4th of July, I'm not going to say it's going to be 8 hours, but we're going to definitely have some videos on YouTube and on this platform here. We will do a special broadcast where we'll go over there's some historical things that I came across and I wanted to share with y'all. Some things that, something that took place in Brazil that's really quite significant. And it does, we'll chat about that. But there's also a video that I'm working on now where I'm going to be highlighting. I've actually talked about this before, but I'm redoing the video where I'm going to be highlighting some of the slave activity that was taking place right here in the Northeast, specifically in New Jersey, Philadelphia area. And so I just wrapped up some filming on that the other day. And so I'm gonna be editing that soon. Right now, I'm editing up our Mexico video, the part 2 one. So yeah, so I'm working on that one as we speak. So that one, I'm hoping to have that done. If not late tomorrow, it will be done on Sunday, I believe. I'll have that up. Okay. So that information will be, so we'll have that video up. So it'll be the Mexico video that's coming up. And then by the 4th, we'll have the special one that I'm working on right now, where we're going to be highlighting some of the slave activity that was happening right here in the New Jersey, Philadelphia area. And also near the coast, I'm not going up there. It's a town called Perth Amboy. That's a town. It's right on the coast of New Jersey. And there were Africans that were brought as slaves even as far north as there as well. So yeah, so you're going to find there's a whole lot of information that has yet to be uncovered. And we have to take our time with this and stop playing games and injecting all this other confusion and stuff that's out here. Do I even want to say this? Yeah, I'll say it. There's a lot of confusion that's being put out there right now, as you know, like I said. And it's being led by people who failed in church. They had failed ministries in the church world, and then they came here and they saw that the Hebrew thing was something that they can jump on as a grift, and they jumped on that. And so that's what you have a lot going on today. I'm just going to keep it 100%. And they are grifting good people out there who all they want to know is, who are we? And it makes me very angry when I see this kind of stuff. It makes me extremely angry because most of our, well, really all of our people at the end of the day, you can't get but so mad. I mean, when you see some of our people that get swept up in some of this stuff, And, and it's like, man, all you got to, man, just pick up a book, but at the same time, I do get angry at the people who know better, the people who are leading this stuff, and they know exactly what they're doing. So they're bringing in their church games, and they're just repeating some of the same stuff, the same mess. And they're just as bad as these so-called, as the white folks out here that have been doing this stuff. White people really don't have to do too much these days. They really don't. They can just sit back and watch us do what we do. And they'll take history and they'll twist it up and repackage it for you, and then sell you on a sweet buy and buy tickets that will never happen. Meanwhile, the tangible things that are needed, people are sick, people being put out of their homes, that kind of thing, they'll never address those things. But they will invest 100, or I should say 200% of their time telling you that you are of a different culture. And so I'm taking the time to talk about this because history is something that's of extreme importance to us, and getting the story right is something that's of extreme importance, especially to me. And so I'm a type of person, I can write a 10, 15 page paper and realize at page 16, you know what, I made a mistake. I'll just ball it up, throw it in the trash, and start all over again. It's nothing. Because I'm so determined, I want to make sure that when I'm writing down, I'm getting it right. You know what I'm saying? And so history is not a toy. And when you start going through the pages of history, like this, some of the games that I see out here are people that take excerpts. They believe that they're impressing you by, I got this old book here, and read this little excerpt here. And in this little excerpt, it says, see, they're black. They were black. And then everybody just lose their mind. See that? I knew it. But then you got to read the whole book, because when you read the whole book, it will tell you the rest of the story. Because like I say, case in point, it's not enough, y'all. I'm talking to the Hebrews out there, for you just to come to the conclusion that so-called Hebrews were black. You now have to climb the next mountain, which is what actually did they believe. When you start historically, history is not a, I don't know if Ryan's is still around, or Golden Corral. Y'all familiar with that. History isn't something where you just go through the line and you pick, well, I want the greens today. Well, that chicken looked kind of good, but maybe I'll just get a wing. And maybe, that rice looks all right. I'll get some of that. And you just skipping and picking over it. And that's what you see a lot of. There's a lot of skipping and picking on history. We don't have time for that right now. We got to look at the whole thing, and we got to reconcile with the whole thing. You can't just pick and choose. And that's what you see a lot that's happening in that space. There's a lot of picking and choosing when it comes down to our history. And what I'm saying is enough of that. We got to be willing to look at all of it and take pride in the good that's in it. And there's a lot of good that's in it. There's a whole lot of good that's in it. But this system wants to train and to teach you that you are not who you are, that you got to somehow shift away from who you are. And so there's all these distractions that are out here. You didn't come from Africa at all. You are always here. Now, like I said, again, were there some dark-skinned natives that were in this land? Absolutely, there sure were. But what you see in that movement are people who are more, or wanting to embrace that more than they want to embrace the African side. All you have to do, my challenge to my Hebrew brothers and sisters has been this: name me a recipe, a Hebrew recipe that was passed down in your bloodline. Name me one. Name me one. I can name I have books on African recipes that have been passed down from generation to generation, and they're still being cooked to this very day, right here in the Americas. There's a whole series. In fact, we're going to show an entire video series, and some of y'all have seen it already, that covers nothing but that. So my challenge to our people that are still within the Hebrew space is to find me those Hebrew recipes that were passed down. And you cannot sit up here and say that it was beaten out of you, because that's a lie. Either you have them or you don't. That's the same challenge I have for my brothers and sisters who want to say that 100% they weren't not from Africa, but they were from here, from this land. Okay, fine. Then what are the Native American or the native recipes that you have that were passed down from one generation to another in your house? What are they? Name them, list them, present them. And they can't do it. Cannot do it. At best, they'll go on eBay and order some feathers and say, look at me. I'm just trying to keep it real, y'all. Maybe that's why I'm not on live as much, because it's just, I can only do with so small doses for me. Small doses, I'm telling you. But I'm serious. That's something very simple. Then we can get into the more complex things. See, I ain't got to pull out an old book on that. This is something that's right in front of you, in your face. If you can't pull it out, then something ain't right. Something is off. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what we're dedicated to, at least we are. And there's many other people on YouTube that are on this YouTube plantation that are like that too. Meaning, I'm saying that are dedicated in getting the story as right and as accurate as we possibly can. I'm not going to sit over here and say we the only ones, because we sure enough ain't the only ones. There's some great channels out there that have been putting in some work and been doing some very good work and putting this stuff out and all of that. And we're just one of many. And we're so glad that we can be one of many. But there's also a lot of people who are dedicated in getting you mixed up and distracted and all off in some other space somewhere where you just as confused as, because if you as long as you're away from the root, you'll always stay confused. You'll always be confused. It's like a ship with no anchor. You just be going from one thing to another to another. I can't tell you how many people I have run across that say that they are black folks now. They are Sephardic Jews who are from here. They never came from Africa. They came from here. So they are Sephardics that were born, their whole lineage is here in the Americans, and Israel is in out west somewhere. I don't know, but it is what it is. But anyway, but we love our brothers and sisters who are diligently doing the best they can to seek for the truth. We ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you at all, and but we do want to do our part on this platform to make sure that we're being as truthful and honest and transparent as possible when it comes to, I have no dog in the fight. I ain't trying to make no, I didn't build a career in the church. You understand what I'm saying? There's a lot of people out here, a lot of these mores out here, they built a career in the church and they saw that waning. And so now they say, now I can call myself more. and then they just get a transfer. They did an auto transfer. Now they went from Reverend to more. See, y'all, some of y'all don't catch that. They jump from one thing to another. And people just, okay, all right, I'll go with that. Okay, good. Don't even ask any questions. But I challenge some of y'all to ask them, okay, what happened to the ministry that you left when you was in the church? Well, brother, you ain't got to ask me that right now. Hey, listen, hey, I had to make some tough decisions and I had to walk away. Did you walk away or did your people walk away? Some of y'all are following folks and you don't even know this, follow them like a pastor kind of thing. You understand what I'm saying? And you don't even know that the backgrounds in terms of where some of these people don't even show their faces and folk be still. I don't get it. I do not get it. But people are who they are. You know what I'm saying? So definitely ask questions. We try to be as open and as transparent as we possibly can. I ain't gonna tell you all my business, but you know what I'm saying? But, the things that we talk about or we share or whatever, I just kind of like, here's a table. Let's put it all out here. Y'all read it. You want the books? Here's over 100 books. Y'all read it. You want documentaries? You want video? Here's everything. We're going to lay it all out for you. and then you explore it or whatever. And if you got any questions or anything like that, if I can answer it, I'll answer. If I can't, I'll point to you the people who do know. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how we do things over here. So this coming the 4th, that'll be like our special broadcast. It will be spread between here on YouTube and also on my BondTube. My BondTube, that will be the platform where we'll show like some, some documentaries and some other little goodies and stuff like that. Things that we can't show here on YouTube, we'll show over there on my BondTube. That will be on the 4th of July. Okay, that's what we'll be doing there. Okay. Let's see. So that's that. I told you about I'm working on the Mexico video right now. Then also I'm working on the history video. I'm working on that as well. I think that's it as far as updates are concerned. Yeah. So there you go. So anyway, let's move on. Let's get to the news real quick here. For our people who got who are like, I came for the title. You know what? Hold on. I did want to show this here right quick. Let me show this. We posted this video earlier this week, but I'm gonna play it again. This will cover our Samba Tree segment that we typically do. Okay, let me show this video real quick. Okay.
Hey there, Nicole here from Samba Tree, and I am a bona fide tea enthusiast. I drink it all day, every day, brew it for my husband, Dwayne, and our family, and I wanted to come and share a really special tea that I've been drinking for years, High Mountain Laotian green tea. It's called that because it's grown between the High Laotian mountain range and the seacoast. Super, super powerful tea, and we're going to show you how we brew it. It's available now on sambatree.com in our green tea cooler kit. So first, you're going to add 2 teaspoons of the Laotian green tea to your cup of choice. You can add more if you want a stronger brew. And then we'll add our water at about 180, 185 degrees Fahrenheit. We're hot brewing the tea in this video, but you can also cold brew it and brew it as a sun tea. Be sure not to oversteep your tea. Oversteeped tea is bitter tea. And while it's steeping, you're going to add your honey lemon stick that comes in your green tea cooler kit. Feel free to add more honey if you like yours a little sweeter. And I have to tell you, all green tea is not created equal. This tea is so much better than any grocery store box tea that you'll find. You get your 20-ounce tumbler in mint green or silver. We'll add ice to our tumbler. And it's been 2 minutes. Time to strain our tea because we don't want it to be bitter. This tea has so many health benefits. Check our website to learn more. And there you go. A beautiful, beautiful tumbler of delicious Laotian green iced tea. Perfect for summer. You can get it now in the green tea cooler kit on sambatree.com.
All right, so there you go, sambatree.com. You can head on to that site if you like, and we don't just sell tea, of course. We have a whole lot of other things on there. I won't even bring it up, but just remember the site, sambatree.com. We are, like I said again, the juggling act that's going on this end. It's a lot. So, but I'm wanting, and I'm saying that because we're wanting to put out more Samba Tree videos. We're going to be doing that. As well, on the educational side, because we don't just sell stuff. We want to educate people on these things as well. So we'll be putting more videos out in the near future, that's going to do just that. And so right now we're just kind of laying the groundwork for that. So, but again, so that Laotian tea, very, very good, very different. It ain't just regular green tea. And she listed out all the benefits of that. The green tumblers, people just bought those up. So those are going. We have the silver ones. They're the same size. They're just silver. Those are available. So if you order that same kit, it is available. You just won't get the green cup. You'll get the silver cup, and that one is available. So just to let you know, again, that's sambatree.com. All right. So let's go ahead and get into the news here really quick here. First things first, for our friends and family that are in the northeast area, well, we got the air quality alert going on again. Oh yes, I could tell. I was like, you know, what was funny though? This time I didn't smell anything. I didn't smell any. There was no wood smell like it was before. It's very hazy. Oh my goodness. What was it? Today is Friday. I want to say Wednesday. It was either Tuesday or Wednesday. I got up because it was an early day for me, and I was like, it was real early in the morning, and I was like, oh, it's kind of hazy out. I guess that's like the morning fog. But by the time we get to like noon, it was still out. I was like, what is going on? And it wasn't until I found out later that, yeah, they said that this is a result of the smoke coming from the fires up in Canada. And yes, so that's been happening right now. Where I am, it's gotten up as high as I think 160. That's not good. Okay. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's a breath of fresh air compared to being almost at 500. It was bad that, a few weeks ago. This is just a lot of haze, but you still got to be careful. You still got to be careful if you're out there. So especially if you have friends and family that live in this area, I think it's going as far as, let me head on down there. Dang. I'm down in right now. Is this Georgia? No, that's North Carolina. It's like North Carolina. Like Durham area here, and you start heading up north. That's when it starts getting a little bit bad as you start heading up north, as I'm looking at this map now. So yeah, so if you got elderly friends and family that live in this area, please check on them. Okay, make sure that they're okay. It might not be a bad idea if you don't have one to invest in an air purifier for your house. Okay. Now, when I say for your house, I'm talking about more specifically like a room. Like we have one for a room. Okay. There are air purifiers that you can get for the whole house, but those are going to be very expensive. If you got that kind of money, great. If not, at least get one where for your bedroom, so that, because during the night, that's where you spend most of your time. At least most people do, in your bedroom. So you want to make sure that you're getting quality air, while you're sleeping. And so you may want to look into that. I don't have one particular one I can recommend for you. I would just say go on Amazon and look at the reviews and look at your pocketbook and see what you can afford and just go with that. But if you don't have it, if you don't have an air purifier, I would highly recommend that you start looking for one. I think that's just, how many more of these examples do you need? You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a good investment, to get one that is, and not some cheap one. Oh, I got one for $20. Well, that ain't doing nothing, y'all. That's literally a box with some coffee filters in it, and then they got a fan noise in there with a LED light. That's about it. That's about as much as it's going to do. But no, you want to get something that, at least, there's some good reviews on it or whatever. And, and just do that. You know what I'm saying? Make sure your filters are changed out of, your air conditioning unit. Make sure that they're changed and all of that. And, just ask them if you got relatives, friends and family that live in the area. Just ask them, hey, listen, I know I'm being a little bit nosy, but I care about you. I love you. I want to make sure that y'all are all right up there. So, make sure you just kind of ask them those things. Okay. Because I really don't know how much longer this is going to be, because this has been going on for some time. And also be careful too of the information that's out here, family, on social media. You got some people that are out here saying that, see, they're spraying and they name some chemical or whatever that's out here. They saying, they did it. Someone did an air test and they showed that it's some formaldehyde, and they were naming all of these chemicals out here. And people are like, yeah, that's right. That's what I thought too. And people getting all hyped up on this stuff. And I said, excuse me, I actually live in the area. Ain't nobody complaining about, ain't nobody falling out in the streets. There's no poisoning that I can see that's going on. Is this a good thing for the environment? No. I mean, it's wood burning. I mean, too much of that, I'm sure, isn't that good, right? But when it starts getting into this whole thing where, the government is spraying things. Now, keep in mind, we do need to always suspect the government is up to something. I'm not saying not. I'm not saying 100% trust your government. Please, I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is, a lot of times you have people, some people are well-intentioned, but there's some people who are not, who are just like scaring people up and spreading fear. They just love doing that. I'm not that kind of person. I don't like being afraid. I don't know about you, but I don't like being afraid. So when you hear these kind of stories or speculations or whatever, make sure, again, you check it out. Do a thorough check. And a lot of times a thorough check is talking to your neighbors. Are y'all okay? Yeah, we good. You okay over there? Yeah, we good over here too. Okay, we fine then. Okay, so I can mark this as fake news. You know what I'm saying? So there are people out there that's what they like doing. They just like scaring people up, but be careful out there, okay? Because either way, because from what we can see, this is probably going to be an ongoing thing, for at least the rest of the summer. So just make sure that, if you don't have an air filter or something like that, I would highly recommend you to invest in one. I think that would be a great move. Okay. All right. So let's move on to the main story that what we're going to be talking about here, just very briefly. White women benefit most from affirmative action. Oh, so that's why all these white people were angry. Because I was looking, y'all. I'm like, is there any black folks mad at this? I mean, it ain't doing nothing to me. When you go back into the history of affirmative action, again, was just like the Civil Rights Bill. It was a Trojan horse policy where black people were used as the face of a much bigger agenda. I'll give you another case in point if I can find it here, and then we'll get back to this, okay? Because you need to see this. This is the one trick pony these people pull up all the time. I'm going to see if I can find this video. Was that on? Now I got to find out, was it on TikTok or not? Oh, is this it? No? I just saw the brother. I literally just saw him. Come on, man. Hold on. Not that. Oh, no, that wasn't it. Let me keep on. There's a video. If I can't find it, I'll just tell you about it. But we've actually talked about this. I think we actually talked about this in the circumcision series too. We touched on it briefly. Just looking here, and seeing if it's, and then I'm going to check TikTok right quick, and I'm going to see if I can find it on there, okay? I think it may be on TikTok. Let me see if I can find it on my phone, okay? Just give me just a moment. But it's just amazing. I just think it's just more distraction that the government, just wanting to put out there to get people all distracted and trying to get black folks all mad and angry and in our feelings once again and all of that. And it's like, black folk ain't bothered by this. Let me see if I can find it. For some reason, I think that was on Twitter. Anyway, this guy did a video where he looked at the LGBT flag. And when you look at the LGBT flag, I don't have it in front of me now. I'm still going to look for it, though, as I'm talking to you. But basically, you see all the colors. He did a breakdown on this. Really good breakdown. That's why I'm still trying to find it. But basically, each one of those colors have a meaning. And when you get to the like they definitely have black and they definitely have brown. Well, it's quite obvious what those colors are for, right? Well, LGBT flag, what they're saying is they are for the rights of black and brown people. So isn't that special that they're for us? So we have allies, right? Anyway, black and brown. But then you start getting into some of the other colors. And once you start getting into the other colors, it takes a very interesting turn. And those other colors, when you actually take the time and look this up, like I said, I don't have it in front of me, man. Daggone it. Because I would post it, but YouTube, man, be tripping, man. When you look at the other colors and the person that was behind the colors, they represent a much darker thing. They have a much darker meaning, including attractions to little children, to little boys, to little girls. That's what those colors represent. How do we find out about that? It's easy. You just look it up. The information is out there. It's very easy. It's been out there. And so they're linking up black folks with this whole agenda. And people just jump right on it like it's nothing. I'm still I'm talking here, but I'm still trying to see if I can find it. I'm gonna skim through this one more time. If I can't find it, then oh well. Because he did a pretty good job. It was a short video. Oh, is this it? Wait a minute. Yeah, this is it. This is it. They must have added something to it. It kind of threw me off here for a second. Okay, so here we go. All right, let me bring that up here. Yeah, it was on TikTok, but someone put it on they put it on Twitter. Okay, so let me go ahead and play this. Take a listen, and he's going to do a breakdown on this, okay? I want you to hear what he's saying here. And all of this is facts, y'all.
It's supposed to be for black people. This is supposed to be for brown people. But these colors right here seem to be a little strange. And this goes into what's called the minor attracted person or youth attracted person. Pedophile flag. So I want to go over what these actual colors mean. Blue and light blue on this flag stands for attraction to infant boys. Okay? That's what this light blue is for. Okay? The pink stands for attraction to minor girls. That's what the pink is for. But then, the white. The white stands for attraction to virgin children that are virgins, that have never had any type of sex. So when you start to see these things, right, they went from just the rainbow, which initially was God's promise, into all of these other things, you should start asking yourself why they want virgins, young girls, young boys, brown and black people to succumb to this overall flag. I want y'all to actually think about these things.
Now you notice what children aren't on there. Well, it's a catch-all, but they're very specific in calling out black and brown people. You see how that goes? But anyway, how does that relate to what I was just talking about? They always take this Trojan horse perspective when it comes to pushing certain rights and bills and stuff like that. When they say this is for black folks, it's never just for black folks. They always add other things to it as well. Now, that right there with that flag, like I said, I think we touched on that in the circumcision, because if you don't think that has anything to do with circumcision, it does. It's all tied in, and it's a group of people that's all orchestrating all of that. I can't get into it on this platform. We talked about it over on my BondTube. So you check that out. Okay. We went through all of that. Okay. So it's very dark, very, very dark. So anyway, getting back to this article here. Right here. Okay. So One more time. White women benefit the most from affirmative action, so why do they oppose it? When affirmative action first started out, it was supposed to be the government's way of saying, listen, we got to dismantle Jim Crow. Jim Crow was an economic system that that kept black people out economically. All right, it perpetually kept us at a disadvantage in this economic system. So what affirmative action did was it set up a plan or a program, if you will, where blacks were shoehorned into the economy. So you had corporations now that had to hire us, business, if the government, local government, if they wanted to hire contractors, a certain percentage of them had to be black, so it was all black in the beginning. But then all of a sudden, in comes the brown people. Then all of a sudden, in comes white women. Then all of a sudden, in comes the LGBT. And over time, that thing has shifted to where now it has been more of a benefit to white women than it has been to us as a people. So let's read this article very quickly here. It says, people often associate affirmative action with efforts to end discrimination for people of color. More specifically, I will add this. No. USA Today, you're not going to do that on us. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. Let's read it right. I'll be the editor on this one. People often associate affirmative action with efforts to end discrimination for people of color. No, for black people, because that's how it began, with black folk, not with people of color, black folks. But scholars say the greatest beneficiaries of affirmative action policies were white women, from college campuses to the American workplace. White women today are more educated and make up a bigger slice of the workforce as a result of decades of affirmative action policies, scholars say. White women have also made inroads into corporate leadership that people of color and women of color have not. It's true. How many tech companies do you know that are headed up by black women? I see a lot of them that are headed up by white women, but I don't see any of them that's headed up by black. I mean, I'm just saying, you have to be, and the only reason why that's the case is because you don't see a lot of black folks in those spaces. They're there. We're definitely there, but it's a certain level you ain't gonna get, but they ain't gonna allow them to get but so high. It's just what it is. Anyway, let's move on. The Supreme Court on Thursday struck down affirmative action admissions policies used by Harvard College and the University of North Carolina to build diversity on their campus. Legal observers say the decision will have huge consequences for higher education and could have significant ripple effects for corporate diversity programs. Affirmative action. What is affirmative action? Affirmative action refers to effort. Okay, we already know this. All right, let's skip down here. How have white women benefited from affirmative action? Discussions about affirmative action tend to focus on race, but statistics show that it also has been an equalizer for white women in education and in the workplace. A Labor Department report in 1995 found that since the 1960s, affirmative action had helped 5 million members of minority groups and 6 million women move up in the workplace. When we talk about institutions like higher education, we see that women in general are on par with men, but we have severe underrepresentation of Black, Indigenous, and Latinx. I don't even know where that came from. Latin folks, Spanish folks, Hispanic. All right. Anyway, folks, in colleges and universities, and even greater disparities for women of color. Texas A&M sociologist and lawyer Wendy Leo Moore told USA Today, you can make the same analysis when we look at employment. Those are the kinds of things that indicate on the structural level that white women have benefited. And I would even go as far as saying that I would say black women have benefited. If you want to do a comparison between black women versus black men, black women have benefited from affirmative action than black men. Okay, so black women, y'all right behind that. In the past 6 decades, women have leapfrogged men, and that's including black men, in earning 4-year degrees, while Black and Latino students still underrepresented in college admissions and graduation rates, especially in 4-year colleges. A similar trend has been seen in the workplace, according to USA Today. Okay, and it goes on. And then they go on why do white women oppose affirmative action. And they go, and really what they're saying in that piece, in that part of the article, they were saying that they've been poisoned by the Republicans, on that. But either here or there, family, what I will say is this. Number one, affirmative action, I would say in the last 20 plus, if not more years, has not really been a huge benefit to us as a people. It hasn't. It's something that we have been used. The system has used us to be the front face of it by, reminding the greater public, saying, listen, if you get rid of affirmative action, you are spitting in the face of Martin Luther King. And then once the programs continue on, then they'll basically say, niggas, get up out of here. We're going to bring the white women back and y'all keep on. But we ain't get our loans. Well, did you apply for it? Yeah, we did. Well, you need to try harder. Try again. I mean, that's just how it works. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so affirmative action now has turned into something that has benefited everybody but black folks. This is the part of the conversation that they really, really, really don't want to have. They really don't want to have this. But it's true. But when the Supreme Court makes this decision that, hey, listen, we're going to clip the wings of this program, now all of a sudden, black folks, where are you? Come on. Come on, black folks, please, y'all. Come on. We need you to save us. And it's the same old song and dance. And then we get out there. Okay, dance, y'all. Dance out there. And we get out there doing the stymie. We out there doing, we out there just a dancing. And then once they, all right, we'll pass it again. And then all of a sudden they're like, all right, stop the music. Get on out here. Come on, white lady. Come here. Oh, you just so white and shiny today. I just love to see you smile. Just come on down. Come on down. Mind all this other stuff here. We have to get rid of them, But that's how it works. That's how it works. So that's why you don't see too many black folks. They just kind of like, when this happens, it's like, oh, okay, well, whatever. Anyway, about that submarine. People still talk about that submarine. But affirmative action isn't something. It started off with intentions. I'm not going to even say good intentions, but it's certainly not something that has truly benefited us, period. It really isn't, because it always comes hitched with some other stuff. But the other thing I want to say too is this. We as a people have to work on building our own infrastructure. And I know we say this all the time. You hear people saying this all the time. And it's like, I know we talk about, because, black folks, we like saying that, but then it is, how many people are actually doing it, right? There are black folks out here that are trying to piece things together. There are. But we need to continue to do that. You need to, people who are building infrastructures and, trying to build things, like people, black folks who own their own businesses. I'm talking like brick and mortar places, or maybe not, really try to pool our stuff together. I was in Philadelphia. I walked by this building. I'll drive by it all the time. It was like it was called the Polish Community Center or something like that. And you had people of Polish descent coming in and out there, getting their resources, getting their info and getting their stuff or whatever. We have that too. We need more of them, but we do have that. So it's what I would advise folks to do. I'm talking about our people, is those within our people who are making a difference, and it's measurable. Those are people that you should embrace, gather around, help, assist, or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? But this mindset that we all got to come together, I think that has been one of the worst pieces of advice we have given ourselves for a very long time. And I am very determined to stop that, because I ain't working with all black folks. I can't work with all black folks. It's impossible, because not all black folks are on the same page. It's just not it. And I would argue that the same can be said about white people. They don't all work together. It may seem like that to us, but they don't. The ones that are progressive and are moving forward, they're going to partner with people who are progressive and moving forward, right? Well, likewise, we as a people, we have to think that way too. I think a lot of times we have this, we shall overcome, and then we all got to work together, and we got our arms crossed, and we all working together. We got to be bold enough to say, listen, there's some of y'all we can't work with. And I ain't ashamed to say it. The ratchet culture, I can't work with that. I can't build anything with that. If someone's being ratchet or they have a ratchet mindset, I'm sorry, I can't build a bank with you. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not obligated to do so. Now, I will point you in the right direction so that you can get help if you want it. But if you have a ratchet attitude, a stank attitude, and I got to tell you, and I got to be on you every 5 minutes about your dress code and stuff like that, I can't do nothing with that, and I ain't going to waste my time with that. You understand what I'm saying? So it begins with that kind of stuff. Building, and as far as building a community, if that can be, and as long as you do that as an individual, I know that's what I'm doing. I'm focusing on trying to surround myself with people who are progressive and are moving forward, and that's it. And it's been wonderful. But having the mindset in the past where I'm like, okay, we got to get all these people together, I tell you, you be ready to jump off the bridge. You'll be ready to jump off the bridge when it's all over, because folk will eat you alive. And I ain't talking about white people either. I'm talking about y'all folk. They will eat you alive. They will barbecue you if they could. Seriously. I hate to say it, but it's true. But yeah, surround yourself with good people. And there are lots of good people out here, black folks out here that are making a difference. Someone that reached out to me very recently, they're doing a very significant project right now in helping to get find people homes and stuff like that. And I said, man, hats off to you. You know, keep me posted on what's going on. Maybe we can feature you, at some point or whatever. But there are many of our people who are doing some great things on there. And those are the people that we should highlight and rally around. But some of this other stuff that's out here, man, I ain't gonna waste my time. Sometimes we waste so much time, even on social media. I said, I'm so tired of the crap that I'm seeing on social media today. Not that I wasn't before, but I'm really getting tired of it now. If I see one more twerking video, if I see one more, I'm serious. I'm about to, or fighting or arguing video. I'm telling you. And that's why I said, like, Twitter, sometimes I could be going through Twitter. I'm like, oh, look at the birds. Oh, look at the animals. Did y'all see that one that, what was it? Not an orangutan. It was a chimpanzee came out for the first time. These wicked people went experimenting on this chimpanzee all his life. He came out for the first time, and he was like looking up at the sky and all that. You could see, it was the first time he saw the sky, first time he touched the grass and all of that. And, so I'll have good things like that on my timeline. And then all of a sudden I'm scrolling. The next thing will be someone up there twerking. I'm like, why did this even show up? I didn't ask for this. But it does. It shows up. And so anyway, that's why I say it can be traumatic going through social media for real. But anyway, so focusing on and surrounding yourself with people who are progressive. I ain't talking about a political persuasion. I'm talking about they are moving forward. They're not just talking. Brothers, you need to surround yourself with other brothers who are progressive and moving forward. Don't just surround yourself with someone who just says, all they say is, all praise to the Most High, all praise to the Most High. And that's all you bring into the table. No, you need to be bringing some more. Well, we're going to get into these scripts. That's what we're going to do. Okay, but can we build something? Can we solve a problem? Can we make sure that these folks are taken care of? Can we do that? You know what I'm saying? How about that? You know what I mean? And so those are the things that you need to surround yourself. And men, I cannot encourage you enough to if you want to fortify your manhood, get around other brothers who are of like mind of that caliber. Do you understand what I'm saying? Sisters, you too. Some of you sisters are the same way. Y'all, there's a lot in you, and there's a lot that you are wanting to do with your life. You know what I mean? And you should do. I'm talking about positive things, right? Surround yourself with people who are moving forward, who are progressive, who are doing these things that you're like wanting to do. If it's someone that, whatever it may be, travel, whatever it could be, surround yourself with people like that. Don't be surrounding yourself with these people like, y'all, did you see what's on the news? They sent they got these mosquitoes. They released these. Bill Gates, I guess he's got another win. Oh, it's about to come down now. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, it's about to happen now. The heathen are being persecuted right now, even as we speak. Did you see what they were doing over in that country over there? They poisoned the water. Oh, Lord, it's about to come down now. Oh, Lord Jesus. Did you see the clouds and the way they were shaped? I was looking up at the sky the other day, and I looked up at the cloud, and it looked like it was giving me the finger. And I said, oh, Lord, it's this judgment time. It's just coming all over the place. Oh, Lord. I'm like, ain't no sunshine. I mean, it's like, where is the sun in your life? Is there any sun in your life? Any sunlight? Any will do. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, there's some bad things that are happening in the world. But I doggone it, let me be around some people that are doing some good things. Someone that's going to put a smile on my face, but at the same time, I'm going to get a sense of satisfaction because I'm actually contributing to progress. Surround yourself with people like that. You know what I mean? And by doing that, it eliminates this foolishness about us waiting for the government to give me my affirmative action so I can have an opportunity to work for the government. Lord, I need my affirmative action. Why did y'all take my affirmative action from me? They hate me. They really hate me. Lord, they took my affirmative action. All I wanted to do is work, and y'all just taking that from me too. Like we don't have no resource at all. We have no recourse at all. We can do all kinds of things. There's many things we're doing out here today. We don't need that. Take it. Take all of that mess. We don't need that. And so once we get into a mindset where we can basically tell the government what butt cheek to kiss, we're going to go out here and we're going to build. See, a lot of people out here, they always like talking about Black Wall Street and, Black Wall Street and all that stuff. But we like talking about it, but we like talking about it from a distance. We don't want to put in the work that created a Black Wall Street. You understand what I'm saying? They may have burnt down that Black Wall Street, but they can't burn them all down. You understand what I'm saying? There's a lot of people who are building things to last. That's called legacy. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I'm not going to adopt this mindset just because they burnt down one, then I don't have any choice. There's no, why even try at this moment? Doggone it. If I got breath in my body and I got limbs I can walk and use, I'm going to build my own Black Wall Street. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? And that's the mindset we need to have, not this pre-defeated mindset where, well, we're going to try, but at the end of the day, they still going to take it away from me. And when I say Black Wall Street, I'm not talking to necessarily a physical place that you going to come, because half of y'all niggas ain't going to come on my Black Wall Street. You hear what I'm saying? What I'm talking about is creating a space, creating something where growth can happen, creating something where I can nurture those that are with me, that are around me, that the Most High has brought around me, and we can grow together. That's what I'm talking about. It ain't necessarily anything physical per se. It could be, infrastructures. It can be things that are based online. It could be all kinds of things. It could be a network. That's what I'm talking about, Black Wall Street. Stop thinking in your mind that a Black Wall Street's got to be just a physical location. If we can't even work together, why the heck you expect a mall is going to succeed if we ain't even working together? Do you understand what I'm saying? That's how it works. So, and when you have that mindset, Black Wall Street didn't have affirmative action. The government wasn't trying to do anything for Black folks. There was no government loans that were being given at that time. Those people built that from the ground up with their own money, with their own resources, and their own willpower, period. They didn't need the government help for that. And it's a shame that in 2023, you got some people out here crying because the government took away their affirmative action. And I'm saying some people because a lot of Black folks are starting to get it now. So thankfully for that. Thank you, Nguzo. Saw that. Appreciate that, bro. Anyway, let's move on here. Next thing here, next story. Let's talk about this really quick here. I got some people out here, some of our people out here, you do this, and it's not a bad thing, okay? I make fun a little bit, but it's not a bad thing. I know why you do it, okay? Some of our people are seasoned citizens out here. you are still sending checks in the mail, to, whoever it is that to pay your light bill, to pay whatever bill, right? And you're writing checks and doing that, right? There's nothing wrong with that at all, because if they continue to take checks, why not? I don't see a problem with that, but it just, sometimes I have fun with that sometimes. But anyway, this is coming from USPS. Okay. This is not just me now. This is the USPS. This is what they're saying. They said reports of check fraud has steadily risen since 2020, with stimulus checks becoming a target. Okay, we ain't talking about that. There were 680,000 reports of check fraud in the U.S. in 2022 compared to 350 in 2021. That's a lot. Scamming operations are sophisticated multi-person schemes that banks are monitoring more closely. And so if you go through the article here, it basically talks about it's a strong recommendation by USPS to do not send your checks. Now, if you want to do an exploration on the tea leaves on this one, this could possibly just be them gaslighting people to try to get people to, move on over to, being a digital economy, which, I mean, it's going to happen anyway, but I will say this. If you are someone that does, you prefer, you're just want to listen, I don't trust the internet, I prefer to pay with a check, then you do that. You know what I mean? You do that, but just know they're telling you that, fraud is going up. If there is an option, let's say if it's with your power company or your utilities, and you would prefer, if you don't want to go with the option of paying, online, a lot of utility companies do allow you to pay in cash. Like you can go, there's certain places that they work with where you can go up and you just pay for it in cash there if you want. So you may want to do that if that's more comfortable with you. Okay. But the check thing, now that they're officially coming out and saying, hey, listen, you may not want to do that. You may want to take heed on that. Okay. And then look for other options. Like I said, the one other option typically is, for some people, they may pay by phone. You can do that. If that feels a lot more at your comfort level. Another thing is going to whatever the locations that they give you and making sure, and paying there, you know what I mean? And you could just pay right there on the spot. And then they give you a receipt and all that. I did that every now and then if I needed to. But yeah, so just wanted to let you know about that. That's USPS putting that out there. Okay. So let's see, we talked about that, talked about affirmative action. In the world of Christianity, we have Open Queer Christian Artist hits #1 song on Christian iTunes charts, unseating Chris Tomlin. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the world of Christian music. #1, openly gay Christian artist Simler had her or him new single Faith top Christian iTunes charts on the last day of Pride Month, beating out such mainstays as Chris Tomlin, Brandon Lake, CeCe Winans, and Phil Wickman to take the #1 spot. And Simler says, I really can't believe it. We have I'm trying to do the voice, so she might sound like, I really can't believe it. We got a queer artist to chart at #1 in Christian music during Pride Month. You did that, Faith Forever. Thank you. Maybe that's what she sound like. I don't know. Similar, her name is Grace Baldridge, is a newcomer to the Christian music scene, a married, non-binary lesbian who has been gaining some publicity after her previous profanity-laced album briefly held the top spot on iTunes Christian and gospel charts last year. Last year, she toured with Reliant K, the queer-affirming former Christian band, gaining prominence and visibility. She also recently wrote the world's gayest worship song after channeling the hurt of someone who's broke my heart for Jesus. ticking off all the boxes you expect to see from a woman with her haircut. Last year, she raged against the ruling to overrule Roe v. Wade, tweeting out a link where people could give nearly 90% pro-choice abortion funds, then pleaded to be considered for Best New Artist at the 53rd Annual Dove Awards, an event she ultimately attended. It's just a matter of time. Family, this ain't anything new. This is why, like I said again, you have to, when you go back, this is why we're going back into the history in those series that we've been talking about, the series that we've been doing. I'm like, we got to get to the root of this. Where does all this begin? When you look at Christianity, the history of it, you're going to see all of this stuff has been at the root of Christianity from day one. Once you understand the history of it, because Christianity was birthed out of Rome. If you're wondering why Rome has a serious problem with molestation with children and all of that, you don't have to wonder anymore. Just look at the history and it will tell you right there and there. And the same, and it's not just Rome, it's the Protestant churches too. You have, they deal with the same stuff, because when you're part of the same tree, you're going to bear the fruit that the tree is going to bear, period. But isn't that something? But this is the first one that, as far as we know, but there's been a lot of this little stuff that's been going on in the Christian music world for a long time. They just don't make it public, but you got folks that just they're in all kinds of stuff. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Christian music artist, top of the charts. Anyway, let's see here. We got a couple of things on Twitter I want to show y'all real quick, and then we're going to wrap it up. All right, let's see. Good things. No mess. Because I want to end off on a good note here. Let's see here. I got a couple of nice videos I'm going to upload of fathers being good fathers. I'm going to send that to you. All right, we're going to upload that a little bit later. Let's see. Scrolling down. Okay, yeah. This one here, I really, really like this. This is a man who has a barber shop that caters to children with special needs. Something I honestly, because I've never been personally touched with this, so I never really thought of this. But for those of you who have been personally touched with this, I think you would really enjoy this, and I think you would definitely appreciate what this brother is doing. Let me get this up on the screen. There's actually 2 videos of him. And let me go ahead and play this for you, okay? Let's check it out.
Yes, one more time. Ready? Look, ready? 1, 2, 3. Nice. Good. You're doing it. Ready, one more time. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Nice. Good. Yeah. This one. And this one. Yeah, good job. You're doing good. Good. Ready? 1. Sit down, please. Sit. Papa. Sit down. Here. Papa. Take your time. Here. Sit down. Sit. Yeah. Good. Okay, we'll do a little bit. Ready? Nice. Good. Good. Okay, sit.
Papa, there we go.
Instructions. I don't want to confuse. I don't want to. You're father authority, I'm barber authority. If he's listening to you, he ain't listening to me. Because you're first, right? If he listens to you, he listens to me. You're good. You're good.
Down, Pop.
See, you got it. I know it's tough because these are your kids, but I got to stay within my structure, right? I can't deal with you and him. Otherwise, it ain't going to work.
Once you got that candy.
That's why you're here, though, right?
Yeah,
Because this is my system. So, ready? See? 1, 2, 3. I wouldn't give him no candy. Give it to him after he's done. We're rewarding him for standing up. Reward him for sitting down. Right? Nah.
You do, Justice.
He did great. High five. Come on, that's it.
Yeah.
Hey, high five. I'm super proud of you. Good job. You did it.
He's looking at himself
Now
in the
you
mirror
owe it to
like,
yourself. You like it? Whoa. All right, let's go.
Ain't that something? And there's another video too I have. Hold on for a second. Let me, okay, yeah, this is it here. This one is more of an interview one. Hold on. Let me get that up. Make that bigger. I don't know where it is. Maybe some of y'all can find out. Let me play it.
Fortunate circumstances of COVID, I had the opportunity to purchase this place, which is geared primarily for special needs and autism, trying to help out that community, understanding that they had nowhere else to go. And when I first started advertising for the special needs, I've heard horror stories from previous barbering experiences throughout the years, and it kind of justified everything that I do. It's very rewarding to know that there's somebody out there now helping these families and helping them through a sometimes tough situation, most times a tough situation.
The most rewarding feeling I get working here is the connection that I get with the children and the families in the short time of 30 minutes of being with them. Yesterday, I left here actually crying with the little boy who looked up at me and said, "Mom, I want to take Ro home with me."
My son, he has autism, so I know basically firsthand how it feels to take your kid for a haircut and having the barber not want anything to do with them. So when the parents bring their kids in here and they're like, "I'm sorry about my kid," there's nothing to be sorry for. I live with it every day, so I get it. And I feel like being that much more understanding of what these parents go through is helpful.
So yeah, there you go, right there. That's if you're on TikTok, that's because I'm on it right now. I was looking for another video that I saw he did. Hold on for a second. Let me just see if they put it on here. Okay, that's not on there. Let me look. I'm just going to skim through on TikTok right quick. Here was another one he did. Hold on. This might be it. Hold on. Let me see. Copy link. All right. Let me see. This might be it might be the same one I just showed y'all. Hold on.
And they can count on and their kids were comfortable with. I feel that from the children as well, which motivates me to keep going. So every child is a good experience. It's different every day. It's different from child to child. It's different from week to week. So every day is good because we're constantly making strides to make sure we can help these families be a little more comfortable. So
the last time I was here, you were talking about how you disarm families that come into here.
Right.
You know, they have these preconceived notions of what it's going to be like coming into here.
Taking that nervousness away from them immediately at the door with a handshake and a hug and a high five for the siblings and a handshake for mom and dad, and you know, maybe introducing them to a fidget spinner or a Rubik's Cube while they wait kind of eases the nervousness and their preconceived feelings as they were walking here. And sometimes I can hear them crying walking to the door. And then by the time they get in and the door closes, you know, we're already laughing, having a good time. I've had many clients now, being here a little over 2.5 years. I've had clients that started with me day one that were literally laying on the floor, crying, holding the door jamb. And those same kids now beat their mother here from the parking lot and are in the door before mom or dad hits the door because they're coming in to say hello. And it's very rewarding, very gratifying.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And yeah, you know, and that's something, like I said, you don't typically think of, but I know, you know, for our wonderful parents out there that, you know, you have children that are in that category. I mean, I know something like that would be quite a blessing, you know, and it's, you know, what many of us think is just a routine thing to do is just cut your hair. If you have a child, you know, that is dealing with that, it's not routine at all, you know, and to have somebody out here that's offering a service like that. And, you know, I think that's a wonderful thing. And hats off to this brother for doing this and to, you know, and doing that. because that is really a wonderful, and I could see it's a much needed service, out here for our beautiful children out here who are suffering from that type of condition. So that's wonderful. So anyway, I want to end it off on that good note there, just to underscore that there are a lot of wonderful people out here. Don't just focus on the negative, family. Yes, you got some black folks out here that are doing some very dumb things and some stupid things, but they don't speak for all of us collectively. There are many folks out here that are doing some very good things. And because between the media and sadly, many of our own people want to keep us focused on the negative. And for us here on this platform, we don't want that. We want to accentuate the positive. Remember that song? Because there's a lot of good that our people are doing. And this is why we did the video recently where I said, stop saying that we are a cursed people. We are not a cursed people. Get that out of your mouth. Get that out of your language. Get that out of whatever belief system that you're holding on to. Because when you speak that you are a cursed people, then that's what you will manifest. You will become a cursed people. You won't make cursed decisions. You will have a cursed attitude. You will have a cursed health and wellness outlook. It's just what it is. You understand what I'm saying? So stop surrounding yourself and stop speaking that over your life and begin to walk in wellness, wholeness, surrounding yourself with people who are doing the right thing, who are making good decisions, and that's it. And then build accordingly. You understand? In the meantime, we're going to do our part to start, to shed the lies and the deceptions and stuff that has been told to us over all of these years, because we got to do that if we're going to grow. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what we're going to continue to do here, family. Well, that's all I have. Of course, you see, I went a little bit longer than I wanted to, but it is what it is. We're here. Love you very much. Like I said, again, no movie night tonight, but we will be, most I will. And we will meet up tomorrow around noon doing our Samba teaching over on mybantu.com. And then everything else I said earlier, okay? Family, you guys take care. And remember, if you have any questions for me, you can always reach out to me. The email address is connect@journeymanandwoman.com. Connect@journeymanandwoman.com. We're here for you, family. We love you. You guys take care. And we'll be talking again soon. Take care.